Hey everybody, it's Steve. Welcome back. So once again, we are here at my mom's house. We recently replaced the handles on her instant hot water heater that's made by Insinkerator, and everything was working good, but now the Insinkerator unit itself is leaking. So we're going to replace this. Now, this is actually a pretty easy job. We're just going to replace the device. We're not going to touch the handle in this video. If you want to replace your handle as well, I do have a separate video for that. You can check that out. Have a link for that here. But today we're just going to replace the unit to get this leaking one out. So luckily, it's something that even I can do. Okay, so what we found is that the unit that we have in there is leaking basically from this join here where the two halves of this unit connect. It's kind of looks like it's coming out right where the power cord is. I opened up the unit to see if I could locate the leak, but although I found some warning signs like these minerals that had collected here and here, I did not see anything obvious. The top and the bottom half of the unit are held together by a series of screws. A leak at any one of these screws could have been the culprit. These two screws, which are particularly rusted, seem to be the most suspicious. Opening up the unit, you can see that it relies on this rubberized gasket to keep water in, but any sort of damage to that will result in a leak, and that's likely what happened here. We went out and bought a new unit, just the unit. We're not going to replace the faucet today, so you can get these on Amazon. I have a link for those up here. Again, it's just the unit. You won't get any of the handles or the faucet. So if you need that piece, also make sure you buy it as a set so that you have both. It is difficult to find these faucets by themselves, but we do have a video for installing just the faucet, and I'll show you in that video where we got ours. All right, so let's get to this and get it swapped out. Actually, reasonably quick job. Okay, so the first thing we'll need to do is to turn off the water supply. Now, you should have a dedicated on-off valve for your unit, but you may or may not. So what you need to do is you need to look at your machine, figure out where the water is coming from, and then sort of trace that back. So start by finding the underside of your faucet. You'll see a star nut there and some copper tubes that come out of it. Trace those copper tubes back. Those are your water lines. You'll see it connects here at this Y fitting, and then beyond that, it'll connect to your water supply via this white hose. At that point, it becomes a blue hose, and trace that back, and in our case it goes up to our filter. So you can turn off the water there. In our case, we have that lever there, or you can keep tracing the line back to this knob and you can turn off the water here. I will caution you though, sometimes these knobs like these do corrode over time, and turning them into the off position or back on can end up creating a new leak. So take a look at it. If it looks like it's in good condition, then you should be fine. Otherwise, you might want to consider another way of turning off the water, like outside or like I'm doing with our filter system. Next, go back to the handle and confirm that the water is in fact shut off, and run out any excess water in the lines. All right, now, although we're not going to be doing any electrical work, it's always best to have the machine unplugged while we're working down there. And that's just because sometimes water can end up spraying or dripping, and you don't want that machine plugged in with electricity running through it while you're working. So shut that power off by unplugging the plug. All right, so here's our new unit, and I've taken the old faucet and connected it so you can see a little bit easier what I'm going to be doing here. So there's just these three connections that we need to remove. The first one, you should just be able to pull up and remove. Same with the second one, just pulls up. And then the third one actually has a little like lever here that you're going to squeeze. And when you squeeze that, you should be able to pull it up and remove it as well. Now, you might actually see some water, some residual water that drips, so I do have a pan underneath here just to catch that in case that happens. All right, so your unit should just be hanging on a couple of screws. So there's this like little bracket here, and if we just lift it up slightly, it should free it so that it can clear these bigger holes, and then we'll just pull it forward and out. Okay, here it is, and it is full of water, so it will be a little bit heavier than your new one, but that's to be expected. Set that aside, and we'll just take our new one And same thing, it's gonna latch onto these two hooks right here. Okay, so that's it. Now we'll just reconnect our tubes and plug it in. We'll be almost done. All right, reconnecting is pretty straightforward as well. We'll take our skinny tube, which is the vent, and that will just slide straight down. It should go hopefully at least halfway. Then this fatter tube will connect on this one here. Again, that just pushes on, make sure it goes down as far as it can go. And then the last one, this one just has this little switch on it, which we had to push to remove it. But to put it on, we're just going to push it down, and you should hear it snap into place. You don't have to squeeze anything. There we go. Okay, so we made our connections. We're ready to test it. Do not plug it in yet. We're just going to turn on the water supply only, and then we'll run it and let the tank fill. And then if everything's good and we don't have any leaks, then we will go and plug it in and see if we got our hot water, which we should. All right, so let's turn the water on first. Okay, our water supply is on. The unit is still unplugged. We're going to run the hot water, and it may take a minute or two before water starts to flow because the tank has to fill up. It might spit, it might sputter, all that's normal. You should expect that. You see there's a bit of a delay as it's filling up that tank. All told, this is going to take about 2 minutes. Now if you have a partner, you can have them check down below and make sure there's not some sort of weird leak that's going on. And here it comes. So it did take a bit of time. So I want to let this run through 1 to 2 minutes at this point. So I'm not going to make you sit here and wait. We'll speed everything up. We'll just do a quick dissolve, and we'll come back and we'll do the cold. All right, we're back, and I let that run for 2 minutes. So now I'm going to do the cold, and we'll let that run for 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes is up, and looks like we're pretty good up here. So let's go down underneath and check all the spots where there's a potential for leaks and make sure we don't have any. And if we don't, then we'll be ready to plug in. So under the sink at the top of the unit, check each of the connections that we made. They should all be dry, bone dry. Okay, so good news. I don't see any leaks, so I think we are good in that regard. So we're ready to plug our unit back in. Okay, our unit has been plugged in for about 15 or 20 minutes now, and I could actually hear it boiling down there, so I think the water will be hot. Let's give it a quick test. And you don't really want to get your hand in there too much, because if it's hot, it is hot. Reminds me of that time I was at the church and I accidentally put my hand in the holy water. Anyway, that is hot, so we are good down there. The unit is working, producing the hot water as we expected. I don't see any drips here. If you want to do another confirmation down below to make sure there's nothing leaking down there, you should do that. One trick is that you can lay down some newspaper, and once you have that newspaper down there, wait 15-30 minutes and make sure that when you come back the newspaper is still bone dry, and you can see ours is still bone dry. Alright, that is all we have for today. So if you found that video helpful, please hit that like button, please subscribe. We do have some affiliate links both up in the corners down below, so check those out. Any of those purchases made through those links will help out the channel. We get a little bit of a commission, so I do really appreciate that. So that is it for today. Until next time, this has been Steve for things that even I can do it.